Sir Ian McKellen, welcome to the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals. How did you enjoy your experience today?
Well, it was wonderful. I mean, I've been very well looked after and sat right on the front row where you can hear the players breathing, you know, and see them in every detail. It's quite unlike watching tennis on a television or from a higher vantage point in that you can get absorbed in the player and not necessarily follow the ball as it goes over there. So you get to appreciate the styles and complexity of the action. It's thrilling.
As an actor who's been on the stage as well as the film, can you appreciate how the players feel when they're in front of 17,500 fans?
Well, I was thinking when I was coming along, I wonder if Federer's nervous, I thought. He could hardly have been nervous, I suppose, unless there was something physically that was worrying him, you know, or something about Federer, his opponent, that he was apprehensive about. I doubt if appearing in front of a lot of people would concern him, and might even energize him. It does seem that sometimes the crowd can have an impact on the fortunes of the game. Clearly, in tennis, as in all sports, it's concentration, and maybe they don't hear the reaction of the crowd. I don't know.
Do you play tennis yourself, Sir Ian?
No, I don't play tennis. I don't play any sports. No, I'm strictly an observer.
If you were a player, now one of your most famous characters is Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. If Gandalf's staff could give you a shot of one of our top 8 players here, which would you like to have?
Well, I suppose low and fast, really, but I dare say with that staff, I could knock it high into the air, and then it would just drop down just inside the court behind the other player's head. That would do me very nicely. You know, sometimes when you watch a master tactician like Federer, you think, well done, Roger, that's exactly the shot I would have done in your place. It all seems so inevitable, doesn't it, when it's working right. And that's part of the thrill, I think, of watching tennis, is that you can so sympathise with a player that you almost become him, you know.
Now, this afternoon you've watched David Ferrer and Roger Federer. Who are your favourite players to watch normally?
Federer is my favourite. He has such grace and such a variety of shots and techniques. There doesn't seem to be anything he can't attempt and often complete. I'm sorry Nadal isn't here because he's extremely entertaining, and I suppose my dream match, I have seen it once, is Federer and Nadal play because they're so contrasting, but when they're both at the top of their games, they're two anyway the champions. But of the players here today, Federer, I think, a bit sentimental, I suppose, because he's number 2 now, isn't he? I wonder how much longer that will continue. But he's so graceful and beautiful. His body, he's got a beautiful action and constantly entertaining.
As an Englishman, have you enjoyed Andy Murray's success this year, winning the Olympic gold and the US Open?
I just passed him in the corridor. He looks even taller than I thought, and more like a man than a boy, which I suppose in front of our eyes he's become, isn't he? No, I wish him well.